Hey guys, it is day 2 of my 30-day challenge. Um, and I've already done this video once, so I know I'm going to blow it. It was so good the first time, and YouTube did something weird. Whatever. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is some updates on what I'm eating. And I have to say, my diet changes have kind of happened over this last 6 to 9 months. But as part of this 30-day challenge, I am making a specific decision to be, I guess the definition is almost vegetarian. Let me explain what almost vegetarian means. I'd actually say it's almost vegan. Um, the only things that I'm keeping that put me in the vegetarian world uh, and the almost vegetarian world are eggs, but only on a very rare occasion, and a little bit of cheese. So why don't I talk about why no meat whatsoever first? So when I think about what foods I don't like, um, in my life, there's very few things that I don't like. I like pretty much everything. I like oysters, I like broccoli, I like, yeah, all sorts of crazy things. The only things I don't like are very specific. Grape flavored anything, uh, root beer, and what I will just describe as offal. So anything that is kind of a secondary meat product out of an animal. Bleh. Anyway, um, so I haven't had a lot of foods that I haven't liked. Over the last, as I said, 6 to 9 months or so, I've gotten to the point where I'm just kind of like, about meat. Now, is part of that because I have been watching and reading a lot of books about processed foods and how chicken farming works and pig farming and um, cows and like the whole thing? Yes. And have I been reading like some books that talk about the antibiotics and all of the stuff that goes into meat? Sure, but it didn't mean my not eating meat or going to this direction of not eating meat was not because of everything I read. And trust me, I have family members and friends who are vegetarian and vegan and have espoused the benefits of being vegetarian and vegan for a long time. But something kind of has happened is that I really don't like the taste of meat very much. Um, and even have gotten to the point where fish is, I mean, other than probably sushi now, fish is kind of a not so much for me either. Although I'm not having any fish during this 30-day period either. Um, so I'm just kind of off meat, and I don't know why. But I figure that if there's a food out there that I don't like very much, and I don't need as much food as I used to, well then don't eat it. So I'm not. And don't worry for any of you guys who are worried about nutrition. I get lots of soy protein. There's lots of protein in beans, and I eat a ton of quinoa because I love it. So I'm getting plenty of protein in my diet. Um, I'm just not doing the meat thing very much. Now, about the dairy products and why it's just a little bit of cheese, and when I talk about a little bit of cheese, I probably have, gosh, the equivalent of about, or I'm sticking to about the equivalent of about an ounce a week at most. So just a little bit for flavoring and stuff like that. Um, but what happened is, I don't know why, um, but I made a decision, and this was a while back, to stop drinking milk in my coffee and switch to soy milk. And I noticed a couple of things. One, I stopped being less gassy than I was before. And I was just generally feeling less, I don't know what, but less gassy for sure. And then this was a while back. I haven't had milk in a really long time because I found myself at a coffee shop and they didn't have soy milk, so I said, "Oh, I'll just put my regular skim milk in it," which is what I was drinking before. And like an hour later, I had a terrible stomach ache. And so I was like, "Wow, who knew?" Not liking the milk so much. And so I ended up cutting out all of my milk. Then I started cutting out yogurt, which I loved, but was still kind of making me just gassy the next day. So, um, So yeah, I don't do dairy. Have a little bit of cheese just because I love it a lot. Um, and it's really good for kind of binding. I just putting it in, as I said, for flavoring. Um, I have eaten eggs. I had some this morning at breakfast, eggs with mushrooms. Um, I don't know why I'm okay with those, but I am. And as I said, I'm really cutting out foods that I don't like rather than being vegetarian or vegan. And so over this 30-day period, I'm not going to kind of even beat myself up about it. I'm just going to say no meat for the 30 days and see what happens. See how I feel, um, all of that sort of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, for the 30 days, well, for the time prior to this 30-day challenge, I was still eating some crap. Like I love me some pop chips and um, well, all sorts of junk food. And my office is full of it, as we've talked about before. So it's not that I was eating great food. Really, what I'm trying to do on this 30-day challenge is have really clean food as much as I can. So dinner tonight, had to go to Whole Foods because I'm in a hotel room again, or I should say still. Um, I had a bit of pita bread with some baba ganoush and some some fresh figs, which I love, and then this granola thing. And then I guess to eat today, so I had the eggs with mushrooms for breakfast. Um, and then I had this kind of veggie quesadilla thing, but it doesn't really have much cheese in it for lunch today. And that's kind of been my food today, which is actually pretty good. I'm pretty pleased about that. So anyway, that is the deal. I am now almost vegetarian. That sounds kind of bullshitty, but I'm almost vegetarian, and that is what I'm going to be for this next 30 days. I really should just go for it and not have eggs either. You know what? I'm going to go for it and not have eggs either. I'm going to leave a little bit of cheese in there, and because I think an ounce of cheese is, seriously, it's not that big of a deal. I guess for vegetarians out there, or I should say vegans out there, it is a big deal, but I'm baby stepping into the program, and it's really hard to eat out with no cheese. Um, and this isn't just about, well, it is a lot about diet, but it's not just about diet. Other things today, I ran 8 miles, so any of you are worried I'm not going to have energy or any of that sort of thing, um, I ran 8 miles today, so I'm fine with the vegetable. Hang on, I'm about to sneeze. God, I've done that every night. Whew, excuse me. Anyway, oh, look at my forehead. There we go. So, vegetarian, but I need Botox. Ah, I can't do Botox. The idea of putting botulism in my face, I would rather have wrinkles. How about you? Anyway, that is today's report. I'm going to hope this video uploads. I will be back tomorrow to talk about, ooh, what am I talking about? Let me look at my list. Oh, a book that I have, well, I'm not actually done with. This book right here. I'm going to talk about it and how I am still struggling with this book. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.